One item or a category of items can affect the RuneScape economy either in a small way or make a massive impact. Like the Fractured Staff of Armadyl, making soul runes in the Staff of Armadyl grow up to 200% more in price. Within the past few weeks, the Accidental Fletching and Firemaking update was released and adding new Tier 95 Elder God arrows, which these arrows have their own unique effect, and these effects are either extremely OP, like adding 400% more poison damage to your target, or very situational, doing more damage to either dragons or demons. On the release of these arrows, the price skyrocketed due to their effect, some more than others, but a short time later, Jagex announced the release of a new Tier 95 two-handed bow. I'm Limbo, welcome to Perfectionist Theory, and today we're going to talk about how the new bow might affect the price of these arrows. Before we get into it, as of right now, when you use an ability, the effect of the arrow is used and the arrow is gone forever. Jagex has announced this as a problem and trying to find a way to compromise. One way they already tried to fix this problem is increasing the amount of anima from all boss fights in the Elder God Wars, and also being able to get anima through hard mode Arc-Glycor. They also said they might tweak the amount of anima you need to make the arrows. Now, depending on the increased amount of anima they add, and if they decrease the amount of anima required to make the arrows, you'll see a decrease in price, at least on the anima side of things, because there's more anima to be sold than there is to be used. Upon release of the update, you can see that there's an increase in price of the anima because everybody wants to make the arrows so they can be able to use them. This price increase really shows how extremely OP these arrows are, and for example, on April 27th, 2022, before the update became live, the anima of Win was selling around 10 GP each, and about a week later, they grew upwards of 60% of what they were. But after the hotfix, the amount of anima you get per kill, the anima is dwindling back down to where it was before the update. Now you're probably wondering right now, what does the anima really have to do about the price of the arrows? Well, the only way to make the arrows is doing the Accidental Fletching and Firemaking training and getting the components to make the arrows, which is somewhat easily obtained and AFKable. So the anima has a big part on the price of the arrows because the only way you'll be able to get the anima is fighting the bosses or buying it off the Grand Exchange. Since those are the only two ways of getting the anima, most people don't want to waste money on supplies, repairing their armor, getting runes, and everything that goes into PVMing. People are just going to buy the anima off the Grand Exchange. Throughout the life of the update, and the small little patches they did to the anima rates, you can actually see the price of the arrows already going down, even though they announced the new Tier 95 bow. And depending on the effect of the bow, you can really see a change of price of the arrows if the bow has a really good effect. Like having a chance to save god arrows like it is with the Blightbound crossbows. Then you'll see the price of the arrows drop even more due to the arrows not being used when using an ability. Therefore, people don't need to buy the arrows more often and are more enticed to make them since they're saving an arrow than using them. The people making these arrows to make money are going to have a copious amount of them, therefore the supply is going to be greater than the demand, which will lower the price of the arrows even more. Now, if the new Tier 95 has the effect like the Tier 95 cold cuts that you get from Arc-Glycor, the price of the arrows are not really going to change much because it still uses an arrow on using an ability. Whenever the time comes and the bow is actually released, you're not really going to see the price of the arrows fluctuate quite yet, until high tier PVMers actually get their hands on the bow and the bow starts fluctuating through the market, which might take about 6.5 months, like the Fractured Staff of Armadyl going from 400 mil all the way above max cash within that time. My theory is by the end of this year, and the effect of the bow is saving an arrow, the price of the arrows are going to be half of what they are. But anyway guys, it's only a theory. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider subscribing.